big check I ever got, I bought property. Every time I had a birthday, I brought property. Yeah, half of Atlanta, baby. No cap. LLC shouted.
So I posted this full clip on my channel as a short and on TikTok. Make sure you're following me there. And the response has been crazy. It's gotten almost 100,000 views and a ton of comments. The comments are actually why I'm making this video. They've been everything from calling cap on Jeezy saying he owned half of Atlanta to other people giving Jeezy his flowers from being able to transition from the trap to the business world, to other insightful and more in-depth comments and conversations about the importance of the Black community being financially literate, investing, and building generational wealth. For me, Jeezy has always been aspirational, all the way back to Thug Motivation 101. So to see his new arc where he's all about business, spreading knowledge, and building generational wealth is inspirational. So let's check out the full clip from $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, and we'll talk on the other side.
Every big check I ever got, I bought property. Every time I had a birthday, I brought property. Yeah, half of Atlanta, baby. No cap. LLC shouted. One of my great, confidants and friend, my realtor, and he just gave me the game. Like, we just went and bought all this land and buildings in the beginning. And I kind of fell back from it because I was torn. And I got back and he like, yo, come sit down and talk to me. And he broke out the business and he's like, yeah, this building that you bought for such and such is worth this now. This land that you bought for that is worth this now. And I'm like, we didn't do anything. He was like, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what real estate is. Yeah.
A lot of the comments on the short and TikTok were people just calling cap on Jeezy saying he owned half of Atlanta. Of course, that was hyperbole. Jeezy was saying that to prove a point. There are almost 5,000 homes right now for sale in Atlanta. So Jeezy saying he owned half of Atlanta was him basically just saying he was heavy in the real estate game. Keep in mind, there are so many different ways to be investing in real estate. You could be a buy and hold investor as a landlord. You could be a fix and flipper or own multifamily units or a large commercial property like strip malls and storage units. There are Airbnbs, tax liens, and the list goes on and on and on. Add in Jeezy's liquidity, and there are so many different avenues that he can invest and own real estate. It's funny because he never gets into too many specifics about what properties or businesses he owns. He's more of a moving silence type of person, which makes sense. However, there have been other interviews and other people talking about Jeezy's real estate investments, like this clip here of 2 Chainz. Check it out.
Definitely shout out to Jeezy and Tip. They definitely own they have more real estate than I do. They really do. Jeezy has had super prime location. I've been to a couple of his spots, and I think it's just, once you know, it's an addiction.
Now, if other well-known, respected, heavily invested people in Atlanta are talking about how much real estate Jeezy owns, prime locations, businesses, whether that's barbershops, restaurants, studios, or other businesses, then I think we can take it as a fact that Jeezy does have a large real estate portfolio. Another comment that I kept seeing is that Jeezy was just riding his realtor's coattails. But of course, you don't know what you don't know. A lot of the Black community wasn't exposed to home ownerships and the benefits of owning real estate growing up. So most of us had to learn as adults. Personally, I didn't learn about appreciation until I bought my first house and it doubled in value in a couple years. At that point, I wish I would have been able to buy my whole block while the prices were still low. And for those who don't know, appreciation is just when the value of your property goes up over time. So for instance, if you would have bought a house in North Carolina in 2022 and it went up by 5% over the course of the year, it's now worth $210,000, giving you $10,000 in equity, and that's appreciation. So Jeezy learned that same lesson. He basically followed his realtor's advice and bought property and forgot about it. When he came back from tour, he saw all this appreciation and equity without having to do any improvements or renovations. I think anybody would have been bought in on real estate at that point. It's just that Jeezy had the means to continue investing. So it's not really about riding anybody's coattails. We all either learn from people or life experience. Now, you can't always count on appreciation. Depending on the state of the market, the area, and what type of property you're investing in, it could vary. But the point is, if you buy a good property in the right area at the right time and simply maintain it, it will appreciate over time. And the benefits of that can be life-changing like it has been for so many people over the last couple years. I know people see these stories of rappers, actors, athletes investing in this or that and just kind of write it off because of course their money and access is way different than anything that we have. But some of them are giving really good examples that we could and should follow. I post YouTube shorts and TikToks almost every single day about some of the wise investments and generational wealth moves that people are making. So make sure you like the video and sub to the channel to not miss out on any inspiration. Also, make sure you're following on TikTok to join in on the conversations over there. Now back to Jeezy. Of course, his big check ain't our big check, but we can still benefit by following the strategy that he laid out, which is to save all of our money until opportunity presents itself to invest, whether that's buying our first home or an investment property, buying stocks and bonds, or investing in our retirements like 401ks or Roth IRAs, creating a business, or investing in ourselves through training and education. It's time to start building generational wealth. So thanks for checking out the video. Make sure you sub to the channel and let us know what you think about Jeezy owning half of Atlanta in the comments below. Also, if there's an interview or podcast you would like to see a video on, please drop a link in the comments and make sure you check out the next video. Peace.